welcome to a super scary book chat. My name is Leslie and I'm the Reading Machine Coordinator for Monterey County Free Libraries. Today I'm going to do something that I've never done before, which is talk about two books. These two books were published back to back, one in 1992, one in 1993 by horror master Stephen King. The first one is Gerald's Game. It was published in 1992, and Dolores Claiborne published in 1993. Both of these books, they take place on a fictional island called Little Tall Island, and they are linked not only by that location, but by one major event that happened. So, to get started, first I wanted to look at the beautiful, beautiful end papers, the front end papers of these books. This one's the one of Dolores Claiborne. I just love it. I love anything related to art. And then we have the one for Gerald's Game right here. I love them so much. Back when I read these in the 90s, I think it was the 90s, I read the paperback copies, and so I don't remember seeing the end papers. So that felt pretty special to me. Okay, before I dive in, I just want to offer a little trigger warning. These books are scary, and not in the traditional horror sense where there's lots of blood and gore. There is some of that. They deal with trauma, alcoholism, and abuse of different types, including sexual. So I wanted to offer that trigger warning before we get started, just in case for anybody out there who might be sensitive to that type of thing. So let me get started. I'm going to give a general synopsis of each book, and I'm going to be leaving out a lot of stuff because there's just a lot going on. So much more than I could ever discuss in a video. Okay, so Gerald's Game. This is about a woman named Jessie. Jessie is vacationing with her husband, Gerald, and they are playing a bedroom game. He has her handcuffed to the bed, and she has the sudden realization that Gerald isn't actually playing a game. So she kicks him hard enough to startle him into falling off the bed, and he dies right in front of her. Most of that novel takes place with Jessie. She's still stuck on the bed. She's handcuffed, and she's got only her dead husband's body and her memories to keep her company for the next 28 hours. Gerald's Game is absolutely terrifying because so much of it takes place in Jessie's mind, and she's sifting through memories and hearing voices of people that she's known. And as we all know, sometimes one's own mind is the scariest place in the world. I don't think it's just me who has that experience. I think it's all of us. So Dolores Claiborne is about a woman named Dolores, obviously, who is married to an abusive alcoholic named Joe. They have 3 kids together, and all 3 kids are unaware of the abuse that Dolores is living through. When Dolores finds out that Joe has been sexually abusing their daughter, she decides to leave him. But before she can, he withdraws all of their money from their savings account, so she can't access any of it, and thus she can't leave. Dolores is a tough lady, but she's so desperately sad about this. She starts crying at work one day. She works as a housekeeper for a rich woman named Vera, and ends up confiding in Vera. And Vera very casually remarks that men like Joe often end up dying in accidents. That plants the seed of killing Joe in Dolores's mind. So that's the synopsis of each. So this brings us to the event that links the two books together. Okay. And this event is, when you're like me and you're looking for like hidden messages in books, it feels like a big event. It's probably not that big of an event, but it's big enough to kind of move the plots forward. So the event that links these two stories together is a total solar eclipse. Okay. This event happens when Jessie is the one who is handcuffed to the bed. She is a young girl. And trigger warning, her father sexually abuses her during the darkness of the eclipse. And while this is happening, Jessie experiences a psychic connection to an unknown woman. So, the unknown woman is, you might have guessed, Dolores Claiborne. Dolores had carefully planned to get her husband drunk and arrange for him to fall into a well, leading to his death during the eclipse. So she has all this planned, right? As the eclipse begins, Dolores has a vision of a young girl being abused by her father at exactly the same moment. So they both experience a psychic connection to each other. So that's the link between the two stories. It's the eclipse. There's a momentary loss of light and a resulting plunge into darkness that connects both Jessie and Dolores forever, even though they never meet. I mean, in my memory, I don't think they ever meet. They are both marked by abuse, and the wounds they develop turn into scars, and that makes them admirable. Like, they use those scars, I think, to make themselves more admirable, truthful, and resilient. And from what I recall, the books don't really emphasize the connection between the two. They're more like presenting it, oh, hey, this happened. You know, here's Jessie saw this and Dolores saw this, but they're not really saying, oh, you know, these women are connected. It's just, it's showing it. And the connection takes place in the mind of the reader. At least it did for me. So anyway, like I said, the book, this video just leaves out, it's leaving out so much because I could not possibly put everything in, because there's so much going on. But they're worth reading, really worth reading, either by themselves, because they do hold up by themselves, or in conversation with each other, because I think you could do a lot with examining, these two as kind of companion novels, which I have done here, or attempted to. So anyway, we have both of these in our collection. And like I said, they're not your typical horror fare, but Stephen King has proved himself to be so much beyond a typical horror writer. You know, he's and at least in these books, he's really good at delving into the human mind, and even more admirable, the mind of women. So I recommend these books. Again, they're in our collection. They are there for the taking. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning into this book chat. I hope you're having an awesome spooky season, and I will see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Bye-bye.